Just because it's easier to apply online and get the pre-qual from a system, from a person in a different state sitting in a booth, it doesn't compare to getting a pre-approval, a solid pre-approval from a local lender. What I mean by that is that, yes, we know, we see the ads just like you guys, right? Every lender, every real estate agent out there, we see the same ads as you do as a buyer. And we know that, yes, you can go online, fill in the information on your phone on an app and get a pre-qual. Boom, it spits it out, but nobody really took a full application. Nobody had a consultation with you, and nobody fully reviewed your tax returns, your bank statements, your pay stubs, and really reviewed your situation. They know that this is automatic. So when you take that offer and you submit it on a house, the listing agent, the sellers, they know that this offer, this pre-qual from an online lender doesn't carry much weight because nothing stands behind it. There's no person, there's no local professional that can reassure the listing agent that, no, these guys are solid. I reviewed everything myself. And that's the difference between a local lender and an online lender. When you choose a local lender, whether it's working with me or other lenders, make sure you trust your real estate agent. They will help you and guide you through the process. They will usually say to at least reach out to a local lender that they work with because they know them, they trust them, they've worked before in the past. They've saved deals where others couldn't perhaps close on, right? But the purpose is not because they're getting anything back from it. They just know that it's a more solid pre-approval and that they will close on time. They will have communication, which makes the listing agent look good too, because then they can go back to the sellers, give them updates on a weekly basis, and just have a nice process, and then hopefully get referrals later from that seller on potential sellers and buyers. But when you're working with an online lender, it's not the same. It's not the same thing. And the sellers, the listing agent, they don't care that you think you might be saving a couple $100 in closing costs or getting a slightly lower interest rates. If you put the same offer on the house, same amount, and you have an online lender and a local lender, it's pretty much guaranteed they're going to go with the local lender, okay? Because they know they want to close on time, there's good communication, and at the end of the day, the listing agent, the sellers, they don't care if you think you're getting a slightly better rate or a slightly better deal with an online lender, which at the end, a lot of times is not the case either. So having a pre-approval letter from a local lender makes a big difference. And when you have an agent, listen to them. Please listen to them, right? If you have a pre-qual and you come to an agent from an online lender, they will probably tell you, hey, check in with one of my guys, check in with my preferred lender, make sure they can double check and make sure it's good. And they're doing this to help you, to protect you. Because remember, when you put an offer on a house and they accept it, you have to put earnest money down. You're going to put 1% of the sales price. You're going to pay for an inspection and appraisal, and usually it takes about 2 weeks by the time it hits underwriting. And if your loan gets denied, you might not get that money back. The sellers can keep the earnest money. Okay, just remember that the agent is your partner and they're working on your behalf. And make sure you have a local professional real estate agent. It's going to make a big difference whether you get the house or not. And the third thing I mentioned earlier was the unrealistic expectations, because if you know that the market is very difficult, there's not much inventory out there, you can't really go in and ask and lowball the offer, ask for closing costs, and expect it to get the offer accepted. It just doesn't work like that, right? If we have multiple offers, they're going to look at the price, they're going to look at the lender, secondly, and then the third thing they look at is when can you close. So if you have a good price and a fair value, this is not the time to try to get a good deal. I know you don't want to hear it. I'm not saying to overpay for the property, but I'm saying you need to be realistic going into this market and realistic with the offers that you're submitting. If you're going in, so that's going to be the main difference, is make sure that you please make sure you get the pre-qual, the pre-approval, as we commonly call it, right, from a local lender. Trust your agent. If they tell you to call a local lender and get a second opinion and try or think about using them, it's going to make a big difference between you getting the house or not. If you are trying to go in and get a steal, this wouldn't be the time, guys. It's February 2022. The market is hot, meaning if the house goes on the market, it's sold real quick, but because the inventory is so low. Okay, so make sure, double check, and when you do the pre-qual, just because it's easier to do it online, or if you think you might be saving some money, you won't get the house. Okay, so that's just my thoughts, my opinion. I know it's a little bit controversial, but I thought you might need to hear me out and hear and watch this video. So if you're watching it till now, I really appreciate it. If this is something you like, and if you want to learn more from just a regular guy like me, a mortgage lender here in the Woodlands, make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you watch the next video.